How do you like that intro? Have you ever seen one of these episodes before? Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's crazy to go from watching these to actually being on.
Exactly. As you feel like Madonna, you feel like Madonna's about to pop out, so like so just busting a move or something, right? Ladies and gentlemen, I got internet. When I talk, does it come through perfectly? Because sometimes you cut out, and I think it's my internet.
You're coming through pretty clear.
I'm coming through pretty clear. Okay, cool. I am coming from you guys, to you guys from sunny Southern California, and my brother David Lashley from Southside Chicago is here, talking about Geopoint Data and real estate. And David, tell everybody that's listening here, how long have you been doing wholesaling?
I'm coming up on a year. I mean, I really got started last August.
Yeah, August.
Yep. I'm part of Chris Jefferson coaching program, charged at university. Shout out to my youth fam. But yeah, we're coming up on a year.
Shout out to Chris Jefferson. I mean, he's the man. I mean, so Chris Jefferson, who for those that are watching that don't know who Chris Jefferson is, he is the man. I mean, I come from an asset management side. He comes from an engineering brain kind of background, fix and flip, more of the technical side of that business. And to be able to bridge the asset management to the wholesaling is really something special, because as you know, David, it's getting hard to wholesale out there, but you've been able to make it work. So yeah. Are you willing to tell us the secret sauce?
The secret sauce is your data. I mean, you just got to put the work for good data. I love 60 plus lists. I feel like 60 plus is the hottest list out right now.
Yeah, totally. Let's walk through some psychology for those that are new to the business. So if you guys don't know, David Lashley is a wholesaler. He's been wholesaling since August of last year. So August, September, October. So not even a year, just under a year. From the south side of Chicago, he's doing Chicago and Atlanta. You live in Chicago now, or you live in Atlanta now?
I live in Chicago now.
And so you've been doing this for a very short period of time, and really you were saying that December you kind of that got a pop. So tell me what happened in between August and September to December to kind of prep the story, and then what happened in December.
Well, August to September. Well, I don't know if you know, but in Chicago you have to have a real estate license. So during that time, I was getting ready to take the test because I couldn't. I took the test. I took the class before August, but the issue was due to COVID, the testing centers were shut down. So I had to wait on the testing centers to open. I think they reopened back in September.
They wouldn't let you do the online testing?
No, it was in person at a testing center.
Chicago. For those that you guys don't know, Chicago is the worst bureaucracy that you could ever imagine. It's disgusting to try to do real estate in Chicago, let alone any kind of government licensing procedures for. All right, sorry, I just my little government rant there.
Yeah, it's really like a city of you got to know people to know people.
Got to know people. That's right. Right. Cool. So Chicago, August. Keep going. Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah. So I got the license in September, but because I joined the program in August, I had already started working virtually in Ohio. I was working virtually in Dayton, Ohio. I got several deals under contract. Nothing ended up closing. Just everything kept running into title issues. And then that's in December is when we made the switch, or when I made the switch and started going hard in my own market. And then also in December, I partnered up with my great partner, Priscilla. She's also part of Charged Up University, Chris Jefferson coaching program. And we really just went hard that month in Chicago. We ended up locking up, I believe, 5 deals that month. And I mean, that was really,
how many were able to execute? 5 locked up 5?
Yeah, it was a little crazy. That's the backstory.
How many were you able to close out of those 5? Were you able to close all 5 of them?
No, we only closed 2 of them.
2 of 5. Nothing wrong with that at all.
We didn't know what we was doing. And also in Chicago, what we didn't know is the crazy property taxes. So in the suburbs, you got crazy property tax bills, which can be $50,000-$60,000. But then in the city of Chicago, you might have a lower tax bill, which could be $10,000-$12,000, but you have a $20,000 water lien on the property. So it was really just learning those, and we're still learning even as we go now. But it's just learning everything, how to do things in Chicago, because it's different from working, for example, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little different and more tricky.
I'm super excited so there's a couple things that I'm really excited about. One is that you're a realtor and you're a wholesaler. And so that's I have a platform called the listingadvocate.com, right? And Listing Advocate is, I've been a realtor since 2008. And I slap myself in the back of the head when I think about how much money I missed out on in 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so like I got my real estate license when in 2008, but in that market craziness, very similar to what my market craziness looks like right now, right? In that market craziness, having more than one offer to bring to the seller is a really good idea. Yeah. Have you ever talked about like a cash offer and then said, hey, if you don't like that cash offer, then I could also list your house? Have you ever had that conversation?
Yeah, that's pretty much every offer that I make. I let them know, hey, this is what you can get. Like it just makes sense. It's like, hey, this is what I could pay cash. If you sold the property, this is how much you can get. Well, I believe this is how much you can sell for, and just be fully transparent. It makes sense for wholesalers and realtors to work together.
Goddamn right.
Versus to compete, because you got to think about it. You're running through so much data, and on the wholesale side, the properties that falls into that bucket are very few compared to the properties that falls into the retail bucket. So it's like
you know all my lines, like these are all the things I say over and over and over. You're absolutely right. You got to bring more than one offer. And if you don't show up with more than one offer and you don't represent the interests of the homeowner, then you're not being authentic. That's going to be my interest, I'm sure. You're not being authentic to the requirements that the homeowner has. And many times the homeowner needs to sell to an investor, but many times the homeowner should not sell to an investor, So it's great. I love it. Congratulations. Yep. And so have you listed any houses? You're almost brand new, but have you listed any houses?
For the first, so I'm actually listing properties now. I'm going to list 2 6 units in Chicago. So that's a pretty good thing to me. And that'll be my first official listing. From December until June, I pretty much passed everything off to a referral agent. And then we're going to split the commission on anything that closes. So like overall, it just makes sense to monetize on those leads, because there's a ton of them.
I got to monetize those leads. Yep. You're right. There's a ton of them. Got to monetize. I've had 1.5 conversations about that exact same thing. So it's fun that we're talking about that today. So then tell me some strategies. So you're relatively new. You're working with Chris Jefferson. Chris Jefferson is the king. Chris Jefferson is the real deal. If you want to learn how to be a real estate wholesaler, Chris Jefferson has that, but then he has all these other things like the fix and flip stuff and actually becoming involved in being a real estate investor. Because what's happening, David, it's getting more and more competitive in this market, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many offers, like 1 or 2, any example, any of the 5 houses that you put in contract that month, how many people were negotiating on those same deals? Just you or?
No, it was definitely competition. I think one lady, she had 3 other offers. Because you got people that's cold calling, people that's sending direct mail. So competition is out there. Even some deals, I go to appointments and I'm competing against a realtor. Yeah. So it's definitely a hot market, and kind of looking at it before, it was like, hey, a hot market, it's a ton of opportunity to make money. But it's also the opposite. Everybody think they house, even though it can need $100,000 worth of work, they think, hey, I should be getting full retail for my property. So that's
My shit don't stink.
that's definitely a learning lesson. Like my partner Priscilla, she's working on a lead. It's actually in Los Angeles. The guy is underwater, I believe, like $200,000,
Yeah.
and he's in pre-foreclosure. The auction is in September, and he thinks it would be better to put money into the property versus selling it, or even trying to do a short sale on the property. So, and that's also another thing I've been trying to do. I pretty much want to be a one-stop shop. I want to have every tool in the tool belt, whether that's wholesaling, listing the property, creative financing, short selling the property. I got my first short sale that I'm working on. It's going to be a wholesale.
Great.
Yeah,
Great, man.
That one is in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago. Just submitted everything today, actually. I think that's really just the name of the game, having everything in the toolbox. There's some people that just like, hey, the seller didn't accept my offer, and they throw the lead away. And it's like, well, why didn't the seller accept? Like, let's break that down.
Yeah. So, guys, we're going to give away some data today. David is going to give away some data. So we'd love for you to share this information with your friends, especially, being a brand new wholesaler, being forced to get his real estate license. I'm telling every single wholesaler out there to get his real estate license as quickly as possible, right? But you were forced to get your real estate license in order to be a wholesaler. You learn from one of the greats, and you're just making it happen. So that's amazing. The coupon that we're going to give away, if we want people to hear your story, because a lot of people are struggling out there. A lot of people don't know how to make these things work. So maybe you can talk a little bit about the strategy, right? So you said you're buying data from Geopoint Data, and what categories are you guys buying?
I'm doing majority 60 plus, only because it's like 60 plus is just so great to me. Because you come across that person and they got multiple properties they want to get rid of. And you just don't know. Recently, I've been looking into, I think we bought a list. I'm not sure. I think I got a tire landlord list. I like low income because it's just, like I said, those other tools in the tool belt. Yeah, you might go through a lot of leads to see what fits in that wholesale bucket, but you might have 10 other leads or 50 other leads that might fall into a negative equity situation, and let's do a short sale or create a financing situation. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
60 plus. Also, another list that I'm purchasing heavy is owner occupied 60 plus, because the way that I look at it, if you're on that list, you're already over 60. Every year you're getting older. And then the way that I'm using the way that I manage my data, I know every month if a property becomes vacant that's on my list or any of that. So I see, hey, if this person is 60 plus, owner occupied, and that property just became vacant, what most likely happened? Maybe they moved in with a family member. Maybe they went to a nursing home. Things like that.
That makes plenty of sense. And then, do you do any filtering from like a sales date perspective or square footage, or do you do a single family in Chicago? You do single family townhomes, condos, everything?
Yeah, I pull everything.
And then,
I believe,
and then, how about last sales date?
I believe it's 2016.
2016. Yeah, that's what I would usually do. Definitely. So I broke up a little bit there, but I did hear 2016. Anything maximum purchase price? What's your maximum purchase price?
I don't limit. I'm just like, I just want everything.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then what are you, counties? Or are you doing zip codes, or what are you doing? Cook County, Kane, DuPage?
Yeah, I'm pulling the back county.
Cook County?
Yeah, Cook County. Are we breaking up?
I'm pulling up. Yeah, a little bit. I'm doing a data search right now. So while the data is searching, I'm about to share my screen. But so that makes sense. So you're doing landlords and then owner occupants 60 years and older. And then you like the low income, low credit stuff because you're just going to end up on the spectrum of people that have less options, right? And so you're going to show up. David's going to show up with he's going to show up with the real estate agency offering where he can say, "Hey, listen, I'm a realtor. I can make this house sell for as much as the market will pay for it," which feels good for a lot of home sellers, right? They're like, "Oh, you can just help me find the person who's going to pay the most amount of money." But then other home sellers just don't want to go through that process. So I heard something interesting. You're going to start not listing them yourself, and then you'll have a referral partner. Did I hear that right?
No, I am going to start listing them myself. So from December to June, I was passing them off to referrals. And then that's even the same. Yeah, that's even the same thing that I'm implementing in Atlanta. Is passing all of those retail leads off to another agent to get a referral.
That makes sense. Okay. I thought I was understanding. Okay, so and then Priscilla is the one negotiating up front, and is she like doing the pre-negotiations, and then you're a closer, or is Priscilla the closer, or how do you guys play that?
Yeah, she does a lot of the pre-work. She does the cold call. Well, we both cold call as well. Yep. But she does more of the initial calls and then set the appointment, and then I come in and close the deal or walk the property. Great. She sets all of the appointments. Like, she called me this morning. She was like, "Hey, I need you to walk a property at 6 o'clock." I was like, "Hey, I actually can't do it. I got a Geopoint live today."
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, David. Well, I really appreciate that, man. We do have an interesting. Well, let me go back to that. So when I did appointments, wholesale appointments, listing appointments, I am a realtor. We'd always go in as a good cop, bad cop. So I would be the good cop as the realtor, and though I'm also a portfolio holder buying the house, my partner would be the bad cop. He would be the one, the cash offer, and he would make the opening conversation, and he would make the cash offer, and he would tell the convenience of that cash offer, and then we would all watch the homeowners' reactions and see whether or not that convenience was something that they were willing to sacrifice the money for. So if he put out the number and the eyes was just went, it starts getting tensing up, like, right, that probably isn't going to work out on the cash offer side, and you might be so far off that it may never work. So you can kind of quickly read off, okay, well, you don't like that number. Well, is there a reason why? And if they tell you, "Oh, well, I saw on Zillow that my house is worth $100,000. Well, you think that your house is worth $100,000 with the $40,000 worth of work that needs to be done, right? Yeah. And so the bad cop can have all of those conversations, help them come to terms with what reality is, and then the good cop comes in and says, "Hey, well, listen, that's his offer. Let me tell you what I can do." And so it sounds so perfect, but the way that you're doing it is almost easier because you don't have to have two. We call them L5s, level 5s, like the closers, right? You don't have to have two level 5s. You only need Priscilla, who's a roller, we would call it, right? And then a closer, but the roller can figure out where their pain points are ahead of time, right? Yeah.
So me and Priscilla, hey, we be rocking and rolling.
Look at that smile, Priscilla. You got a proud partner. That's amazing.
We even negotiate because Priscilla doesn't live in Chicago; she lives in Los Angeles.
Okay, great.
So sometimes we negotiate at the property. Like, we play the good cop, bad cop on the phone. She's the bad cop sometimes. I'm the person trying to get the best. Let's see what we can do to make this all work out.
Of course. And so we're also talking about, like, representing what the homeowners need, right? And sometimes they need a good kick in the ass because they just, like you said at the beginning of the call, he's $200,000 upside down. It's a short sale. He thinks that he's going to remodel it, and all of a sudden it's going to be worth an extra $200,000. That's not reality. And so you can't be two people to a human, right? A human sees very, very limited vision. And so if you try to play hardball over here as the bad cop, and then you come over here and say, "Oh, no, don't worry about that. I was just joking. We're cool. I'm going to list your house and get you a lot of money." the homeowner has a hard time getting through that if they were offended in the first place, right? So, if you can, there's emotionally intelligent sales that you can set yourself up for success even in those failure points, right? But generally, if you can figure out a way to understand the pain points and then hit them where they need it, that's the business, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So then you're buying data. You're buying data from Geopoint. I never even talk about my own company. Hey guys, we extended our 4th of July order offer. It's 50%. I have to let it go through on orders over $200. 50% off on orders over $200 using the code July 4th. So happy Independence Day. It's amazing that we have the opportunity to just go and figure out how to make money. And in Chicago, they make those that sometimes more difficult than other markets and states. But God bless America under all circumstances, right?
Yeah.
So cool. So you're buying data from Geopoint Data. You're going through and you're texting all of that data. Is that just text messaging, or are you cold calling also?
Yeah. So we push it through the text message platform first. We use REI Reply.
Okay. Yep. Oh, REI Reply is great. Matt, if you're listening and you want to notate REI Reply as Geopoint's REI Reply code, that would be great. But okay. So data. Text message through REI Reply. What's next?
Yeah. Okay. So the main source, the way we manage our data is through REI SIF. So we pushing it through REI Reply. Everybody that's replying back wrong number, not interested, we move those people out the way first. Yep. And then once that data gets fed back to REI SIF, we're able to push who didn't respond and who he didn't get in contact with over to Call Tools. We use Call Tools as a dialer. And then I have a VA.
One text message attempt, or do you do multiple attempts?
It's a campaign. It's a campaign.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not sure how many messages is in the campaign. I would probably think about 10 in a week span.
Okay. Right.
And it's kind of crazy because you think like, hey, this person is on the 9th message and they didn't respond. But I actually locked up a deal in South Carolina from that. He got all of the messages. And then like a week later he responded. He was like, hey, I'm ready to sell the house. So
it works.
We pushed that over to the cold call side. And Priscilla and I both cold call on it, depending on the day. Another thing that we're implementing is more direct dialing, and that's been we've been getting good results from that. We started this on Friday, so we've been calling directly from REI SIF through air call, and I believe we got maybe like 4 appointments scheduled already. That's just from Friday, so I think that ideally that'll make more sense, and we hire some VAs that can go through Call Tools, and then we spend our time calling people directly, just to see who we not get in contact with. Because you might have a record and it's 5 numbers and every number is disconnected. That's not something you can necessarily see from Call Tools. So we put it over to the cold call side, and then if you get exhausted on the cold call side, then I'm sending direct mail.
That's it. Good for you. Congratulations. And how much are you spending total a month?
Probably, I would say definitely under 1,200, I believe.
Woo, that's not bad. That's not bad. And how much would you say? So you've been doing this maybe for a year, so maybe 20 grand, $15,000 or $20,000 maybe you've spent?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. And then how much would you say you've made so far in wholesale and agency? Well, you're about to get listings, but in wholesale deals so far.
I believe we just under 50,000 in assignments for the year.
Man, that's great. Congratulations, brother. That's amazing. I'm going to show everybody, if you don't mind, what you're working on, or the data in your market. If you don't, so share screen, share this screen, and can you guys see? Can you see Geopoint Data? Yes, David.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what I did was you had suggested You were doing absentee, owner occupied, or both? Which one were you doing?
Yeah, I don't even click on that. I click on the Chris favorites list.
All right, perfect. So let me do that in a new tab so that I have an instance there. So these are our prepackaged lists. So it takes I mean, it's really, really easy to do because you're oh, I see. I haven't looked at this in so long. So owner occupied, 60 years and older, right? Is that what you said, one of them?
Yep.
And then number of leads. So we're going to include contact information, and then number of leads. View counts. There it is. Please say, Cook County, you said?
Yep.
County, Illinois. View counts. I haven't done this one in such a long time, and I got slow internet, guys. So excuse the time delay for that. Okay, so you're using this one, and then how many for $1,200? How many pieces are you buying a month to text?
Every month out of that $1,200 budget, I'm probably spending $600 on data. And then
every month, $600 in data. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Good. And it also depends. Like for the Geopoint sale on Memorial Day, I think I bought a list of 15,000. So it all depends on if it's a sale or not.
What a good point. So I'm gonna stop sharing my. I don't even know how to stop sharing. We're having a 50% off sale this for the 4th of July, Independence Day. So any order over $200, we're doing 50% off with the code July 4th, and that's such a great opportunity because data's expensive. It's not cheap. It's not. Yeah. It's not cheap for you. Imagine how much it cost me to make sure that you can have that data. You know what I'm saying? So data's not cheap, and so being able to take advantage of these 50% off specials is huge. So I'm glad you're able to do that. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the results here.
So definitely something that you guys should take advantage of. Stock up now while it's on sale.
Oh, look how cool that is. I haven't seen this thing. So now we have the counts in Cook County of all the things that we would default into. So when David said that he would go up to 2016, Chris Jefferson has already prepackaged some of the things that he would suggest be the default methods. So if you guys want easy, then you just decide what your affordability level is, and you can buy with or without the cell phone numbers, landlines, and email addresses, and go from there. Or you can do it the way that so there's 14,000 results for 60 years and older in Cook County, right? And so it's fun to look at this. Those are owner occupied, but it's fun to look at this. That if you go to, can you see my screen, David?
Yep.
So what I would do is I'd probably go from a maximum year built of 2016, and I'm sure Chris already has all of his stuff baked in. And then I usually go to 2010 because you can mess up a house pretty bad, especially in the south side of Chicago in a 10-year period, So, and then I do a maximum purchase price in Arizona of $350,000. But what would be a maximum purchase price for one of the, what's the market value typically for what you're doing in Chicago South Side?
I'll probably try to stay under 500,000.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to say under $250,000 as their maximum purchase price, right? So that they have equity, sure. And then similarly, so there's 60,000 originally, but let's do, and those were owner occupied. And now let's just do absentee. But then instead of just the 60 years and older, we're going to use these various motivator flags. So I'm going to do low income, low credit, vacant, or 60 years and older. And then I'm going to refresh the lead count and see how many absentee owner homes we have that are any of those features. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So while it's thinking about that, we'll kind of talk about this. So absentee, low income. This is someone who owns one or two houses or more that has lower income for the general demographic of that specific area. So we have to do a whole bunch of algorithmic matching in order to make those things work. But low credit, absentee, vacant. I mean, an absentee house that's vacant is an obvious lack of income for the investor, right? So it's just there's some of these natural things. So look at this. So there's 927 absentee owners in Chicago that are either vacant or low income or low credit or 60 years and older within that criterion, right?
Yeah.
So you buy that data, and then I'll show you guys just for the audience here. This is what that data looks like. So let me see if I can view only. Matt, give me edit X. This is funny. All right. So as soon as I have access to be able to edit this document, you'll see that in column B we have our list stacking. So you know that this is a high equity property that is an absentee owner. Senior. Can you see that, David? In this here?
Top. Yeah.
Senior 2 stories, right? A senior that lives in a 2-story house is a flag.
That's another great list as well.
Thank you for saying that. It's okay. Senior 2-story. This one isn't high. This isn't low credit or low income. This is high credit, high income, high credit. But they're 60 years and older, and they have a lot of equity in the property. So when you're 60 years old and you own an investment property, that tends to say, I don't want my kids to have to inherit this property, right? So they're more likely to sell. And then I don't know if you know anything about the. Biden is making some threats to the capital gains laws and increasing capital gains and or killing 1031 exchanges. So absentee owners, especially right now, are considering whether they should take all of their equity off of the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So our campaigns are specifically focused on the absentee side. And when we do absentee 60 years and older, or I'll tell you, David, I don't know if anyone's talked to you, but we have a new list called AtRisk Landlords. Have you heard about that one yet?
I don't think so.
Well, that means my sales team is doing a terrible job. And so this is basically we have landlords that have a propensity to have higher consumer debt, basically credit card or non-mortgage debt, and or have exhibited online behavioral traits indicating they might be looking for financial solutions, like going to moneysourcenow.com. And so we have that both for landlords and consumers, but we try to find these narrow niche lists, and then we hit them like you're hitting them. You know, we might be texting them 10 times or calling them or mailing them, but we know that the likelihood of them selling is more so than anyone else in the general market, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fun. I'm super excited. Congratulations on your success, Dave. That's amazing.
I mean, that's the great thing about, Geopoint Data. I mean, you get in contact with the people that's most likely to sell super quickly compared to just running through a huge, large list in a data. It really doesn't make sense.
No, there's still people that are sending out thousands of text messages, and there's still people that don't have their real estate license, right? little jab at all the wholesalers that don't have their real estate license yet. Get your real estate license for Christ's sake, you know? That's great. And so $50,000 and you were learning the business basically for the first 6 months. And so we would almost call it, $20,000 worth of spend, but you might have spent $10,000 learning all of the lessons. So you basically did a 5x multiplier, or somewhere between a 3 to 5x multiplier, which is what it takes to survive in the real estate agency listing business and or the real estate wholesale business, right?
Yep.
So you got the magic formula, 3 to 5x multiplier on your ad spend. As long as you can keep that going, brother, you're in business. So I'd love to have an offline conversation, but maybe Matt can send me, Matt, if you're listening, I'd love to get a code to give away so David can give away some data above and beyond our 4th of July special. So maybe he is listening, maybe not, but tell me anything else that you would say to new wholesalers that are looking to find their way in the world?
I mean, just stay consistent, put in the work every day. Keep track of your time. That's something that I struggle with, is time management every day. So just keep track of your time, because it's like you might feel like you're doing a lot of work in a day, but when you really put it on pen and paper, it's like, hey, I really didn't do that much work at the end of the day.
Profit
and that's
first.
just it. They just stay consistent, keep track of your time, and don't be cheap. Like some people be cheap on data and they want to use cheap scraping methods and stuff, and it's just like it doesn't make sense because everything you're paying for SMS, you're paying for the, your dialer, you're paying for a VA, and then you're feeding it garbage at the end of the day.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
don't be cheap. That's what I was saying.
Exactly. And especially, don't be cheap. And then as the TCPA compliance laws and all the different telephone laws that are coming through, it's getting harder and harder to send text messages, and it will get harder and harder to continue to send text messages. So the more narrow you can create your niche list, the better off you're going to be from all of the things that are happening in our world generally. So I just got notification, David, that we do have a code to use to give away. So I don't know if is Priscilla out there listening? She's not allowed to win. Okay. Let's see. I don't know, Matt. We usually have Dom like hyping up everybody and getting interactions, and so there's a whole bunch of people that have been talking, and I didn't even see it because Dom isn't helping me here. So let's see. We got Chris Francis and everybody. Who else is? Matt, you wanna ping in and tell me who should be winning, because I can see all of these people are commenting and having fun and doing a great job. So, what's that?
See Ashley, she's pretty.
Oh yeah, okay. Matt says Ashley for sure. So, Ashley, we're going to go ahead and give you $200 of Geopoint data. So use that however you like. Let me share one more thing. Especially for you guys using the 50% off code, there's something that we really like, and it's expensive. That good data is expensive. So this likely to be distressed lead. Can you see my? No, I'm not sharing yet. There's a likely to be distressed premium feature that we have, and so I'm going to share my screen here. So this button right here, this premium data at 50% off, that's a really, really great deal, but it'll reduce your count significantly. But I'll give everybody the wink and the nod that button will get you data, the people that are going to be more likely to sell for sure. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to give away $200 to Ashley, and then Matt, is there anyone else that you think should win that has been participatory? Sound like a teacher. Ashley, let's see. David always speaks facts. Charles knows David. Yes, good stuff, guys. Super excited. Cool. Matt is not coming back with anything. So, David, anything else that you want to share with the guys, those that are new, that are trying to plan their place in the world?
I mean, that's just it, pretty much. Like, pretty much what I already said. I would say get coaching or a mentor, because just trying to piece everything together from YouTube, I feel like you'll never
time management. Let me give one more thing. So I've been going through various iterations of like these time management books, and so I've come to terms with what I have to do in my brain, because I run 5 different companies, so it's kind of difficult to. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but it kind of breaks your day up into where's the camera here? Key actions. These are the things that I absolutely have to do, and this is what happened that day, right? So the key actions and the outcomes. This is the focus of the day. These are the general tasks, trying to keep on the camera. How can I face my fears? A victory that I'm proud of. And then I have my actual day written down. I'm trying to follow the camera here, right? And so that way I can mentally in the morning prepare for everything that I want to purposefully do. Because there's a whole bunch of stupid shit that you do during the day without even thinking about it, like you said, right? So you said consistency and time management and just sticking to it, right? But that time management, people don't realize it until they reflect. And we're in such a fast-paced, everything go world. It's hard to take a deep breath and understand what you're doing. So find a strategy to mentally open and close your day, bookends of your life, right? Mentally open and close your day, and you'll find the success. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, like even myself, I try to break my day up into 30-minute blocks, and I mean, like just starting out to do that, like I noticed how much time we're literally just throwing away. It's like,
Absolutely.
You think you're working all day, but you're really not.
No, you're not. And it feels like it. You probably talked to a bunch of people and you maybe talked about business for 2 minutes, but then 20 other minutes goes by and you didn't do anything. So this is Diego. Diego said he wanted to be on TV today. So, hey, you want to say hi?
Hi, Diego.
This is David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
What do you want Daddy to do?
I want you to read this.
There's a clue card that's okay. So we're gonna wrap up. Say thank you so much, and Ashley, reach out to reach out to me on Facebook, and I will hook you up with the people that will give you that data code. And so say bye to David.
Bye, David.
Say don't forget to get your 50% off coupon.
What?
Don't forget to get your 50% off coupon.
Don't forget to get your
50% off coupon.
for your 50% coupon.
Yeah, July 4th. All right, David. Hey, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you joining us today. And Priscilla, I'm sorry for taking him away from a walkthrough. That's a critical function, but I appreciate you sticking with us.
Cool,
Hey, David, I'd like to schedule a time. Let's ping each other on Facebook